Hey everyone! Today I want to share with you this flip that we just completed. This is an interesting project because the whole project started exactly when the pandemic started, so we experienced all the delays that was caused by the pandemic. And then after the whole project was done, the sale process actually didn't go as well as planned. So let me tell you all about it in this episode. In this episode, I'm going to share with you how I got this deal, the before and after walkthrough, the renovation process, the sale process, and all the numbers. If you're new to the channel, my name is Elisa and I'm a house flipper in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been flipping houses for 3.5 years now, and I want to use this channel to educate more people to get started in real estate investing. So if you're interested, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's start from how I got this deal. So one day I got a call from this agent in my network who heard about this fixer-upper listing from another agent in the same office. The seller inherited this house, but it's full of stuff, very gross, and needs a lot of TLC. But the seller lives out of the area, so it was very difficult for her to clean it up, do the necessary repairs, and get it ready for sale on MLS. That's why it makes sense for the seller to sell the house to an investor like me, so she wouldn't have to clean it up, do any work, and can get the money from the sale very quickly. I was excited about this deal because this house has an unpermitted room right next to the garage on the ground floor that can be converted into living space. That can add a lot of value to this house. And this house is almost exactly the same as the flip that I completed earlier this year that was a home run. Before purchasing this house, I did note that the neighborhood is not as nice as the neighborhood of my other flip that I sold for 1.6 million. So I was thinking the ARV of this one might be somewhere around 1.4. It was interesting timing because I got in contract on this purchase back in March, and that was before the pandemic hit us really hard. And while we were in escrow about to close on this house, shelter in place went in effect in California. The stock market took a dip, and it was kind of scary to go through with this purchase. But I decided to stick with this deal because, for one thing, it looks bad if I back out of a contract, and for the other, I was very confident about the profitability of this deal. Let's take a look at the house before we did any work. But I have to warn you that it was extremely gross, and you can clearly tell that the house hadn't been cleaned or maintained or updated for decades. We're starting our new flip in San Bruno next week. This house is very similar to the flip we just sold 2 months ago, but the condition is much worse. As you can see, the paint is peeling off of the exterior and the garage door is falling apart. The house is on a steep hill in a windy part of town. It has 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square feet, and it was built in 1963. As you get closer, you can see more paint damages and the dirty exterior. Come on in. This house is currently filthy, and as you enter, you hit this brick wall right away. Our plan is to remove the wall to make it more open and inviting. I sure have seen my fair share of nasty houses, but this one, from the moment you enter the house, all the way into the kitchen, has gross stains from God knows what. And this thick wall with a brick fireplace on the back is quite an eyesore. This very dated fireplace is behind the wall that we just saw. By removing it, we'll be able to achieve an open concept between the living room and the kitchen. And in the living room, we have hardwood floors, but in many areas, it's very damaged, so we'll have to repair and refinish it. This kitchen is a complete disaster. The cabinets are gross, and the floors are gross, and we have to gut everything. By removing the wall and using nice finishing materials, will make it a much more open and welcoming space. An awesome perk of this house is this walkout deck. It's filthy right now, but we're going to clean it, and from here you can get a really nice view of the bay. This master bedroom also has a nice view of the bay, but it's otherwise disgusting. The hardwood floors are badly stained and damaged, almost like a crime scene. And the window is all fogged up and broken. The fan is filthy, and there's spider webs in the ceiling, but an interesting find is this knife in the wall. The master bathroom is the most disgusting of all, with stains all over the floor and a big hole in the wall. I can't figure out what happened here. The whole bathroom is also so small with such a tiny shower. We have a lot of work here to gut everything and make the shower bigger by borrowing some space from the closet on the other side. The other bedrooms look so normal compared to the master bedroom. They have double pane windows and carpet over hardwood floors that we can refinish. I was really surprised to see how clean the guest bathroom was, but everything is still dated and needs to be replaced. Through the narrow stairway that wasn't built to code, you can go to the room downstairs that's full of trash right now. But there's enough space for us to add a bathroom and a closet, and I love the potential here. This room is right behind the garage that's also full of stuff right now, and we'll have to clean it up. This is a pot of gold right here. We're going to convert this space behind the garage into a permitted bedroom and bathroom. This is the strategy we used on our previous San Bruno project, and it worked out really well for us last time. The room feels dark and dingy right now because it's covered by dark wood paneling. We'll need to redo the ceiling and the walls to legalize the space. From the room downstairs, you can access the backyard through the slider. The yard is spacious, but it's full of weeds and has some trash and broken fences. We started with the renovation right after the purchase. The main house renovation was pretty quick. It only took a few weeks because we have a pretty good process for kitchen and bathroom remodel, and the permits were all over the counter. But for the addition permit, we had to submit plans to the city for review, and that took so long. With the shelter-in-place order, the building and planning departments are closed and all the staff are working from home. Initially, they told us that at each department, the plan review will take about 2 weeks, but it ended up taking a lot longer at each step, and even after planning, building, and public works all approved the plans, it took a few more weeks for the permits to be issued. It was very frustrating because we had to wait for the permits for 5 months. And I'm not sure what happened. The permit fees ended up being almost 3 times as high as the fees that I paid for the project I completed earlier this year. It's not quite a surprise because I've seen permit fees increase during the pandemic in other cities too. So my guess is the cities are not receiving as many permit applications during the pandemic as before, so they have to cover their overhead costs by increasing the permit fees. This may not be the best strategy because with increased permit fees and delayed review process, fewer and fewer builders and homeowners might be willing to apply for permits. After 5 months, we finally completed the whole renovation and the addition. Let's check it out. Hey everyone, I'm going to show you this just completed flip in San Bruno. We did a lot of stucco repair before we paint the entire exterior. We also replaced the garage door and made the whole house look new. To improve the curb appeal, we put in new plants and mulch and removed a lot of overgrown bushes, and now the house looks so inviting. Let me show you the interior of the house. We removed a big fireplace that was right here, and we also removed a wall that was separating the kitchen and the living room. So now we have this big open space that's inviting and perfect for entertaining. We had original hardwood floors in this living room, and we were able to refinish it and also put in new hardwood floors in the kitchen to match with the original floors. So now the floor is all consistent. The previous kitchen was closed off from the living room by this wall that we removed from right here. We not only opened it up, but also made it more bright and airy by using white cabinets and also marble-looking countertops and backsplash. Now this is a great center of entertainment in this house. On this side of the living room, we replaced the wall to the stairwell with this glass railing to make the living room feel bigger and also to give more light to the downstairs access. The master bedroom got a complete makeover too. With the refinished hardwood floors and this new big window, this space feels much more inviting. And this window gives you a nice view of the bay, which is a great perk. The master bathroom is not big, but compared to how gross it was before, we really made a huge difference by putting in a new shower and new vanity. After seeing the highlights of the renovation on the main level, let's go down the new staircase we built that is wider and less steep according to the building code to check out the addition that we added downstairs. The biggest change we did to this house was to convert this unpermitted space downstairs into a junior master bedroom with an ensuite and a huge walk-in closet. This added about 300 square feet to the house and a ton of value. The backyard was covered with a lot of junk and weeds, and we cleaned it all up and installed a new lawn to make it a pleasant outdoor space. The house is completely redone and looks so beautiful, but it didn't sell as quickly as I thought it would. We listed the house at $1.375, hoping to attract more buyers and bid the price up to over $1.4. Initially, we had a lot of interest and many showings, so we set up an offer deadline. But we didn't get any offers, which was a big surprise. It seemed like there was a slowdown in the market, so we waited, and after a month being on the market, we still didn't get any offers. I knew I had to take action because after a month being on the market, the listing is stale, and we had to do something to bring it back to buyers' attention. I decided to make a risky move and lower the price by almost $200,000 to $1.2. The idea was to get buyers excited for the house again, and if there's enough interest, they may bid the price up much higher eventually. The strategy didn't work as well as I hoped. We did have a lot of showings and got a few offers, but they were all very low, just around the new asking price, $1.2. Finally, the right buyer came along and made an offer at $1.3. The price is a lot lower than what I thought it was going to sell for initially, but at this point, I understand that my expectation was probably too high. The weather over there is almost always cold and gloomy, but the biggest issue is probably the neighborhood. The house is on a steep uphill, and there are a lot of cars on the street. It's very hard to find parking. Now that this home is all fixed up, it sort became one of the nicest houses on the block, and you start to notice that many of the neighbors' houses need a facelift as well. And that really doesn't help the value of the house. Now let's talk about the numbers. The final sale price is $1.3 million, and the renovation cost is $170,000. It's on the high side because of the added addition. The hold time was 7 months, mainly because of the delayed permit process. The final profit was barely $100,000, an 8% return on all the money invested. This is on the skinnier side because the final sale price was a lot lower than where I thought it was going to go. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Smash the like button below and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.